We should be live.
We are live.
We're 2 minutes late, mate. I think that's me.
Apologies. I would say I was doing my hair, but
it was actually me doing my hair.
You've changed, boo boo. You've changed. A little bit of internet a little bit of internet fame, and you've just changed, mate.
I know, mate. I know. I'll try and go back to being me again. You're looking pretty cool today, Mr. Orlando.
Mate, this is
again.
Mate, I look about some people look good in hats and some people don't. My missus looks awesome in a hat. I know I don't, but
listen. Okay, let me just stop you. She's just next to you and she's holding.
No. Mate, that's not me anymore. These days, that is not me. I say it as it is.
Yeah, all right, mate. Big talk. bring on the next show. We'll see.
Mate, there's a reason neither of our missuses are anywhere near us when we're speaking, right?
Absolutely not.
How are you, everyone? Just letting people come in whilst the music plays out. So yeah, I look about 14 in hats. I know that, but there's so much going on at the moment. I don't have time. I haven't done my hair since, well, you saw in the video yesterday, Dumb and Dumber hair in full effect. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, most days, mate, I'm just up and running without. Mate, there's been times where we should enjoy the music before we start talking.
The last 10 seconds, do your best dad dance.
No, you're not going to.
Done.
Boom.
It's always a good start to my morning. So how are you guys? This is Cryptos Like a Pro, the show that's going to be talking all things crypto. So let's just get a bit of housekeeping done. Paul Bede's in the house. Evening all. Gary Hartley in the house. We have a Facebook user. Click on the link with StreamYard below, and we get to see your picture and we get to say your name so that we know who we're speaking to, so that we can just do this. We can click on it and go, "Hey, Julie, how you going? Nice to have you with us." It's kind of how it works. Adrian, you are a part of Limp Bizkit now. I'm guessing you're talking about Andy, not me. Although that was a good song, right? Do you know any of Limp Bizkit songs? Can you remember? There was a couple that were good. Yeah, you.
No. No, do you know what? Every time I think, when you think of Adrian, what do you think of? No, tell me. Let's see if it's the same as me. Yeah, Adrian.
No, wait, you got.
We did it. God, if anybody's joining this show for the first time, they've certainly logged off by now.
It's not hard to promise you this. It can only get better from here.
Absolutely.
It can only get better from here. Tony in the house. Hi, boys. How you doing? Daryl, Boo Boo. Hi, Boo Boo. Hi, Gav. See, look, it's catching, mate. It's catching. You look like a Boo Boo.
No, he said hi, Bobo.
Oh, okay. Hobo. You look like
Bobo.
a hobo.
Put Bobo in there, isn't it? B-O-B-O. That's not saying it.
Fred Martin's in the house. Dominicus. Almost first, but Facebook user. Not only are you not revealing yourself, you kind of cheated, but you were smart, strategic. The competition winner, the first comment of the evening, goes to Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous. So look, we're going to crack on with this because obviously we don't have I was going to swear then. I don't know where that came from. We don't have excess of time. So let's just focus in and make sure we're in as much as we can on the cryptos. So let's just go balls deep, straight in. Where are you at the moment with regards to market sentiment on cryptos? What do you think is going to be happening over the next I mean, we could talk about the next 2 minutes because something's probably going to break out. Judging by your post, hey guys, I'm up 40% in this. I'm up 20% in this. It's only been 10 minutes, Andy. So where do you think overall market outlook and your sentiment with regards to the market, what are you thinking right now?
So if you, yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, the returns that I've experienced are just ridiculous and nothing that I've ever experienced before, not to this scale. In like, obviously, with as for anyone that doesn't know, you know, my main background has been in FX trading. I've been in FX trading for well over a decade, 16, 17 years. And, you know, and what you know, to kind of get the kind of returns in FX that we're getting in cryptos, you need to take a lot of risk. That's the reality. But what's extremely good about what's happening right now is that because cryptocurrencies are not mainstream, so they're in our world now, right? Especially, you know, you guys that are on our program, they're in our world, very, very deeply in our world right now. But you could almost think of it like there's like mini bubbles of this around the world. So people are in cryptocurrencies, but there's a massive amount of the population that are not in cryptocurrencies and haven't got a clue how to even buy something and what it is even. So we're way ahead of that. And so I guess what I'm saying is like the kind of returns that you're getting is not because you're just overly risking. That's important. So you have to still do correct risk and money management. And it's something we've been speaking about in the other group, because some people, you know, openly admitted sort of taking on a little bit too much risk. We want to avoid that. And then you have some of the other traders who are doing very little risk. I remember Lorian posting in his first week that he had doubled his account, but only doing $30 of risk per trade. So really, really small risk per trade, but yet he was able to sort of double. If Lorian, I don't know if Lorian's here, but he can confirm that. But that's what's great, is that you're kind of getting into trades that have got, like, you know, some of the cryptos, I mean, that we've got. For example, we bought HOT, and it's quickly, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, I thought it would go up. I didn't think it was going to go up this quick. And this is what's surprising me. It's like, okay, you get into something low risk, and this is the beautiful thing about margin, right? We're using margin, we're borrowing the funds, getting into something, and then obviously you can either hold it for the long term, or you can, you know, take profits, which is what a lot of people are doing. And both, you know, we can speak more about that as well in a minute, about what's better and what's right, and how one is, you know, comparable to the other. But in terms of like where we are as a space in cryptocurrencies, you know, you obviously have three phases. You have the bull market, the bear market, and then the consolidation. So we had the bear market, we had the consolidation, and right now we are, let's say, in the middle of the bull market. Now, here's the tricky thing. We are in the middle of the bull market, but it's very difficult to predict when that's going to end. And that's the thing. So like you can get to that last, I don't know if you guys know the cycle of a stock, for example. You know, if you've seen those pictures, the distribution phase, accumulation phase, expansion phase, and so on. We're definitely in the expansion phase right now. And, you know, nobody really knows how long this is going to last. But if you're asking me to make a prediction, I think we've got we have a lot more upside right now before the correction. But you've got to be smart about the kind of cryptocurrencies that you choose. Not everything is going to go up. And I've got to be honest with you guys. If there's one thing that I think you have to do if you want extremely good results. There's two things, in fact. One is manage your portfolio regularly. And two, you have to use margin. You have to use some leverage.
So one second. Let's break down your first point first. So you say manage portfolio. What does that mean? Give us a top line breakdown of what that would entail.
Yeah. So there'll be cryptocurrencies, and this is and it's not an easy thing. It's a decision that you have to make, and you're not going to get it right every time. But I can give you specific examples with my portfolio that I have to make decisions on, and sometimes you'll get it right, but you have to be prepared. So managing, I'm looking at there because I'm monitoring some BNB, by the way, I think is a breakout. Just letting you guys know. I think
so we're going to pause the show whilst we go in.
No, but people, because it's been in a very, very nice consolidation. We can have a look at it afterwards. But
yeah, let's do that.
It's breaking out, and this could have a really nice push higher. I'm in it, but I'm looking to buy more.
What's the current price? What's the current price right now?
307 at the moment.
Oh, 307. Okay.
So it's pushed up. But this is a good example where I've been in BNB for quite a long time, Binance coin, and caught a really nice move. And then it's kind of like just consolidated, and you can see it needed to take a breather. Now, what can you do? You can hold it and just leave it alone, and eventually it will probably, not almost certainly, but probably go higher. And eventually you'll benefit from being patient and holding it. ADA is similar, Cardano. You can hold it, be patient, and eventually it will probably go up. Now, when you're managing your portfolio, you've got to make a decision. Shall I just hold on right now? Or shall I convert it back to dollars, take those dollars, go and find undervalued coins that haven't had a big push up, go and make money on those ones, and then get your dollars out and then put them back into your original holding that you want to hold for the long term. So that's when I talk about portfolio. If you do good portfolio management, you're going to maximize your returns. Now, is it going to be the case that sometimes you're going to kind of do that and then the cryptocurrency that you want to be holding could go without you? Yes, it can happen. But you should have a plan for that. So what's the plan? Well, maybe you identify where that kind of consolidation is ending. So maybe you put an alert and say, well, okay, if we break the market angle, if we break the high, if the super trend, for example, changes to green from red, if the MA crosses above, so whatever the criteria is for you. So if we go back above the 50 MA, whatever it is, create that criteria, set an alert so that actually, hold on a minute, damn, it's now on its way back up. I need to go. So my portfolio, I want to be holding 40,000 of these. I need to now go and find another 10,000 because it's now ready to go back up. And then you've got to decide, do you want to get it back from the original place? Do you want to, do you have dollars in your portfolio? Is something else that you've taken profit on? What do you want to swap it out for? So this is what I'm talking about. So like now, BNB is a good example. I've had a big position, but I took half of it off, took some of the dollars, used it elsewhere, but now I need to get back in. I need to add back in. And so I'm going to look for a price at that. Yeah,
thank you to Michael Bruce at 310 and rising.
Let's
bring that up now because this is a real life.
Since we're talking about it. So hold on.
Thank you for that, Michael.
Let's see what we're doing here.
Elizabeth, nice to see a new name and face in the group. She's saying her sentiment for the market is bullish. Touche, Elizabeth. Touche.
Yeah. So this is what we have. It as it stands. I mean, it looks strong. It looks like we're going to have, a nice. I mean, what's great here is that you can see there's a nice increase in volume there as well on this rise. But at the moment, it's a little bit tricky because you've got to ideally try and find a good entry. So you don't really want to kind of be getting in when the market's running away, ideally. So you either want this to give you a nice pullback, or a bit of consolidation, so that at least you're not kind of chasing the market. So you get a little consolidation, and then you can potentially take the trade. So and the thing is like what I like to do is I don't like to take. So whatever I do when I manage my portfolio, I'm not going to take I'm not going to close the whole coin down. Why? Because by having firstly a position, I know I'm not going to forget about it. That's the one thing. The second thing is that if you don't manage to get back in at the right price, you've still got some position in it. So you're still benefiting from the right. So it's more a case of like, can I take some dollars out of there and put it somewhere else so it's going to make more, and then I can bring them back in. And that's kind of like what we're talking about when we say like portfolio management. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I'd want to say about that. Is there anything else that you want me to say?
No, that was pretty good. So then going back to the second point, and if anybody's got any questions, let us know. There were some comments to my post. So yeah, I'll mention those as well. But we've got a question coming from Kevin, another new person. Great to have you with us. Nice photo, mate. Are you trading BNB or buying, holding, and selling at a later date?
Kevin, thanks for your question. I'm doing both, to be honest. So somebody asked, I think it was John asked me today, John Slack, about, whether so it was for a different coin, whether I'm using the futures or whether I'm doing margin. So what I like to do is I use the margin account for longer term positions, and then I use my futures account for trading. So you can still use the longer term positions on the futures account, but I like to separate like that. It's easier for me to kind of manage in my head. I know that one is for long term, this one is for trading. So that's a good point as well, Kevin, that if rather than chasing a market, because when you're investing in something, there's different strategies of how you can get into it. You can dollar cost average. There's different things that you can do. But when you're trading, it's really important that you get the right price, because you're looking at short-term moves. And so it's like, let's say, for example, with Binance Coin, if it's going to go to 600, right, and I buy at 310, but it goes down to 200 and then goes to 600, have I made money? The answer is yes, I have made money, because
I wasn't sure if you were waiting for Kevin to put the answer.
No. I mean, just generally, like for people to think about. Yes, I've made money, right? So, so the point is that it's even if you're margin trading, like I don't do it at high risk, or I make sure if I am not putting up a lot of dollars and I'm using a bit of margin, I make sure that I keep dollars aside available. So, or I know some coins that I'm going to ease up on and get my dollars back out to make sure the position is safe. So I'm maximizing that position size like that. Whereas when you're trading, if you're chasing the market and it's up there and you're getting in and you're jumping in, and I've seen people do this.
Yeah, I've done it.
As soon as it corrects, you're now like, it's a big deal, right? Whereas if you're like, well, okay, I'm just averaging in, I'm building my position, I don't care if it goes a little bit back down, then it's much easier to stay in the position, much easier to be profitable. So very much like when you're futures trading and you're day trading or short-term trading, you have to get a good price. You can get away with it when you're spot trading and let's say, low leverage margin trading. So you've given yourself plenty of pullback room. So like if your stop out, for example, on BNB was 150, you'd pretty much be safe unless we went into a bear market, right? So it's highly unlikely you're going to have any issue at that price. Now, if your stop is at 290 on that margin and you've gone in at 310 chasing the market, I mean, you may as well give the money to the market right now. You're just, you're gambling. So you're not going to make any money like that. So that's kind of like, yeah. So in general, Gavin, I think with the crypto markets, when you're in a bull market, it can run for years and years, and we could still be running like this for years with some mini corrections. You take the S&P 500 as an example of that, where I mean, literally, I'll hold my hand up. I mean, I'm not an expert in the S&P or whatever, but I didn't think the bull market would be going on now. I mean, it's crazy. It's just unprecedented, but it still is. And so people that are net long and haven't come out, Alberto, for example, they're still making money as the markets, or all pullbacks they buy, pullbacks they buy, pullbacks they buy. And that's what we're doing in cryptos. Pullbacks we buy, pullbacks we buy, pullbacks we buy. Eventually, you might have a little bit of a hit on your portfolio, a big hit, but it's part and parcel because you're building your equity up at such an unprecedented rate. At some point, look, put it like this: if your portfolio at the end of this bull market has done a 10x, for example, so let's say you've done a 10x, and then when the market is turning, you give back 2, so you end up with an 8x at the end. Who's going to complain about that? You're still going to be happy that you've done that.
It's really funny because the psychology is that people will focus on the 2x that they've lost rather than the 8.
They will.
Which is why this whole thing is just a mind game, guys. It really is a mind game. And this guy's been around it. He's been it, seen it, done it, bought the T-shirt, drunk from the mug. And you're kind of used to that, but you still get challenged on it. Whereas us guys that are new to this, we've got to understand that, like you say before, where we are emotionally is what we bring to the markets, and we'll go into that in a second. But yeah, you were saying about your point. So sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I mean, and this is the difficulty, because what happens is we become attached. We become attached to an outcome. We become attached to the money that we've made like it's ours. Listen, none of it is ours. At the moment, it's sitting in an account. And unless you physically take that money out and put it in your bank, it's not yours. That money is at risk. So yes, it's great. It's growing rapidly. But I mean, I'm very open to and accept that I could wake up tomorrow morning and have a 20% correction, and that's normal in crypto markets.
Yes.
So do I want that to happen? No. Do I like it? Do I like it? No. But I accept it's part of the game, and it can happen. Now, if you're a little bit more risk averse, what can you do? You can be a little bit more diversified and have some short positions. Now, your portfolio isn't going to grow as rapidly, but it's also not going to have the dramatic pullbacks that other people are going to experience. So that's another option. Or you can try and time when you feel there might be a correction, and instead of closing your positions, you could initiate some shorts in your portfolio at that point. So one of the things that I've noticed, for example, is a lot of the weekends we get pullbacks, right? We get pullbacks on weekends. So you could deposit some money into your futures account, which is separate to your holdings, and you can look for some short trades on the weekend. Now they may lose, but you can look at them as a hedge. So you could short Bitcoin, you could short Ethereum, you could short whatever coins you think are overvalued and you think are going to pull back. And that way, during that sort of pullback, you're going to make money on your futures account. And that's going to kind of, and if it indeed it is a pullback, your portfolio will pull back, but you've made a bit of money on your futures account, which means that overall it's not been such a big hit and you're staying afloat. So you've built more dollars in your futures, and then eventually you could, as they get cheaper and you think they're going to correct, you start buying more of them and you just stack. So, it's just a process.
Awesome. And this kind of leads on to another question that we had in the comments for the post. I know some of you get the videos and some of you don't. Facebook's a bit funny at the moment with regards to who it shows our content to. So the more we make comments, the more we share in the group, the more our content will get out to everybody. So this was a question from Paul Cox. So thank you for that. He said, I've bought some crypto.com based on Andy's recommendation. The amount of coins you can buy on that platform is limited. Could you recommend any other validated trading platforms tonight, please, as I'm quite new to this? Thanks.
Yeah. The platform that we use is Binance. If that's what he's asking for, is that the question?
That's how I interpret. That's how I interpret that as well. So, Paul, if you want and you want to clarify,
there's a link as well where you save. We put a referral link in the group, so you save 10% on your trading fees as well. So, use a referral link. You can use our one, you can use a different one, but you definitely get money back, and we get 10% off our fees as well, just to be transparent. But Binance has everything. But I'm going to say this. This is not a plug for what we do or anything like that. It's completely a freedom of choice of what you do. But in my opinion, if you're going to invest in something like this, make sure you get educated on how this works. If you're serious about this and you're going to put any sort of money into it, like 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is, and more, you should learn how the markets work and how to pick the right cryptos and how to trade them, how to use order flow, all these things that we teach on our crypto course. And for those that are interested, you can see some of the students, the results that they're getting is absolutely mind-blowing. Whether it's us or someone else, I really, really seriously mean this. Like, you need to learn, because people are just investing. Even friends of mine who I've known for years are just buying stuff at random. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm trying to help them. But the point is, it's really, really important that you understand what you're investing in and how to, what's the difference with the margin, the spot, the futures, and even guys that are on the course are still learning, because it's not, it's not easy, but you have to get some. And if the person, is asking, I'm going to assume that they don't have that education, because if they're asking,
they said they're new. They said they're quite new to it.
Really, 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 really important. I can't stress that enough.
Cool. And then another question we had come in was from Tony. How you doing, mate? Gavin, one thing, is it best to buy the crypto and hold as well as trade them? So look, you've mentioned that there's kind of three main ways. Andy's just mentioned that. So you've got your futures where you get the highest leverage, but you pay the highest fees. You've got margin where you can get up to 5 times leverage. You still pay some fees. And then you've got spot where you're just buying the coin. So I guess what were you going to say?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be my personality, but I just find it odd to just do spot. Like I said, this friend of mine, he happened to buy, getting cryptos at really cheap prices. He bought some Bitcoin, he bought some Ethereum, and he bought them all at spot. And he's made some good money. He put maybe $6,000 into it, not knowing much, just like everybody else was just buying stuff. And I think his portfolio was, I don't know, 26 or something like that now, a couple of years later, or 30 or something like along those lines. So a decent return. But if he had done margin, I mean, he'll be sitting on well over 100K easy, without even a lot of risk. That's the crazy thing. If you know what you're doing. So in my opinion, you have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, buy spot. Like, I mean, that's the
yeah.
And that's what I even said to him now. Like I said to him, because he was asking me literally today, that's why it's in my head, like, oh, what does 5x mean? And I explained to him, it just means that you can deposit, let's say, for example, £200 and then have £1,000 to play with. And if you're down £200, then you get liquidated, or you put a little bit more money into it. So I was just explaining that concept. And I said, look, if you're not comfortable and you don't understand these things and you don't have a plan and you're not managing your portfolio, just buy spot. It's fine, but you're not going to make a lot. I mean, it's just, you're not going to make a lot.
I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head with regards to, yes, for sure. There's that element about maximizing your income potential, excuse me, but there's also an element of your personality. And, you know, I have to say that I'm new to trading. I've been taught specific ways for you from FX, which work very well in FX. And then learning not just the way of cryptos, which is fascinating, but it's also learning my personality and my emotions within the crypto market, which are like you're on steroids, basically. It's ridiculous with regards to how it's all ramped up. And I remember, like, I just felt like a fat kid in a sweet store, and it's literally like all the best sweets, and you just have massive. I defy anybody who's, especially people who are new, to be able to control their FOMO. So it's about managing and containing that. And now I would say, like, for example, I'm in one that I recommended into the private group earlier on, Cadena. You can't buy it, or as far as I'm aware at the moment, you can't buy it on margin. So I've bought some in spot. I'm 20% up in a week. I'd rather take some than nothing at all and be totally stressed out about it and not do it. But now I'm able to assess the technicalities of the charts and understand the projects and understand what makes a great investment in cryptos. Thanks to what you've shown me, that's a massive difference. So even, yes, okay, well, we can't 5x it, but you can time in where you're getting in based on the technical analysis of the chart. So you can still maximize it. And I would say, for me at the moment, rather than trying to jump into everything and triggering greed and FOMO, I'd rather just say, do you know what? I'm going to take this. I've still made 20%, and I'm going to focus on ones then now that I can consolidate and grow into. So that's kind of where I am with things at the moment. And then we've got people that are totally brand new, like Shadi, who's totally slaying it. It depends on temperament, personality, where you are financially, your current emotional state, what you've got going on in your life, amongst other things. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, there'll be some coins that basically I would buy spot. Like Crow was one of them, because you can't get it on margin. And I own some other coins that aren't. I do own spot. There's a, you know, I think I kind of said it to the guys. You know, the ratio that I would recommend is probably something like 50, 30, 20, roughly. Yeah. So in other words, 50% is spot, 50% is margin or leveraged trading. So you've got the safe holdings, and then you need that boost. And, you know, and I recommend that you don't just go for the safe coins, the stable coins. You need a few lower market cap coins in your portfolio to really ramp it up and grow. You're not going to get the kind of returns that I've been getting if you're just holding Cardano and Ethereum, Bitcoin. Like, it's just not going to happen. Yes, you'll get gains for sure.
Unless you got into it at the end of December.
Well, yeah, I did. To be fair, I did. But, you know, I bought Cardano from 25, 30 cents. I was buying it and just stacking up. And an Icon as well. Those two, that's the thing. It only takes 2 or 3 to really grow your portfolio, and then you can start really playing around. And that's kind of what I did. I caught Icon, ICX, and ADA. I showed in that past video are the 2 that really grew my account. Like, and I was like, wow, this is like I started to take it actually seriously at that point. Like when I say seriously, I started to dedicate more time to it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of saw the potential and I knew that it was just a start, and it's been proven. I mean, since, which is crazy to think, since we did that, you know, when we started the crypto course, I don't know if you, I'm not going to, for reasons that I explained before, I'm not going to be showing my account right now, but it's basically doubled from that point. From the point when we started the crypto, it's doubled, mate.
So it was 400% ROI. So what is it now? If it's doubled, that would be, this is one thing. So I understand my limitations and weaknesses. Numbers I'm not great at. Tech, believe it or not, even though I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, I am pretty rubbish with tech and I can learn it to a certain extent. So I need to give myself just a bit more time to get into it. So I don't know. You've doubled a 400 ROI account that you did.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically,
I don't know what that is.
800, but I don't think it's that much. No, it's not 400x. You mean it was 4x, not 400x. 400%.
Well, I said 4. Oh, did I say that? Did I?
Yeah, 400%. Yeah.
Just gone 6 a.m. here in Oz. So apologies.
But the point is that the growth is crazy. But like, if I'm holding the stable coins only, it's not going to happen. And you got to find the right coins at the right price. Don't chase the market when it's pumped and then get in. Like, you know, you got to wait for the right entry price and pick the right projects that you understand are going to go higher probably.
Exactly.
As demand. We research our coins, and then ideally you're catching them before they get, you know, pumped. And ideally you're investing in projects that are not just pump and dump. They're actually gonna. My ideal now is I'm looking for undervalued coins. You know, that's kind of like how, and I'm managing what I currently have. When I think something's a little bit overvalued or stagnated, I'll move money around so that I can maximize my return.
For sure. And Gary's summed it up pretty succinctly. It's difficult to sit on your hands whilst going through the course, but listening to members, students share their fails and successes helps me to be patient. My FOMO comes from not trading at all. But you know that you're investing in something and you're going to be way ahead of the curve as soon as you do jump into it. And it's about listening to yourself and just knowing when's right for you. So it's very interesting. And you know, the amount of stress that I tried to just jump on everything and catch everything, and kind of like what you were saying, 50% of it, go for undervalued coins, do your research. Like, you know, now, Gary, for example, you know where to find these undervalued stocks because he's shown us what he's done. So there's the formula there. And you can start making a hit list for sure and see what happens whilst you're still learning the material.
I mean, like just also for you, Gary, like whilst you're going through the course, what I would advise you is when you're learning stuff, start implementing it. And when you feel confident enough, you can start trading when you feel confident enough. Of course, it's better to get all of the material. I don't know if Sab's here actually, but Sab's a good example of somebody who just, once he had enough, he got going, like he just got going and he was still completing the course. So it's, you know, you can even start with small amounts of money. You don't have to put a lot. So when you feel okay, don't feel like, oh, I've got to, because I'm a bit like that sometimes where I'm like, you know, I'm the sort of person that if I get a book, I have to read chapter 1 to the end. It can't be like I'm reading a middle chapter, or like if I've got a course, I've got to go from 1 to the end before I take action on it. But sometimes I think that's wrong. I think sometimes be in the moment, take the energy of the group and take action. So I think you will know when you're ready, but don't hold back is what I'm saying. So when you feel like you're ready, start taking action and use the dynamic of the group. What was that noise?
I was just, while you were speaking, I was just trying to get the end outro song queued up and it decided to start playing.
Fair enough.
Talking about starting from the middle, it started to just, YouTube decided to play it from the middle of the song. So you had that lovely, which was good. I'm seeing in the comments someone's talking about course or something. Let me just see, scroll in.
Yeah, I think Jesse was asking.
Hi, Jesse, another new person. So we've got so many new people joining the group. It's fantastic. Love having you here. Thank you for joining us live. I'll put a link into the comments after the show. We won't bombard you with all of that now. And you can check it out and see if it's for you. And if you've got any questions, just reach out to us and we can go from there. So I guess the interesting thing is to just kind of tie in what we've been saying here. So the market sentiment is bullish at the moment. There's 3 different types of ways that you can invest in cryptos. There's the spot, which should be about 50% of your portfolio. So that's actually holding the physical coin, although you don't actually hold it. And then 30% into margin, which is up to 5x of your investment. And obviously,
sorry, mate, it can be 10x. It can be
10x. Okay, cool. And obviously, learning how to dollar cost average using the margin is a great strategy. And then for the guys that like to fly by the seat of their pants, there's the up to 120x margin, which I've had a very fruitful experience with over the last few weeks. So yeah, it's that. What did you say, mate?
Well, yeah, no, the futures. Yeah, I mean, what I love about that, obviously, that's kind of similar. So it's right. I mean, you know, like the other day, I posted in the group. I transferred. So everything was invested. So I didn't have a lot of dollars spare. Because I knew we were ready to run. So we had a pullback. So I used the pullbacks to invest, and I'd bought all my coins that I wanted at the right prices. So I didn't want to take any of those out. So I put 2 grand in, and I thought, well, I put 2 grand into my futures account saying, well, I'm going to risk that 2 grand. So I'm going to choose 3 coins to trade, and I'll split the risk up into those 3. And I made 3.5 grand profit, but I only had, I made 1.5 grand profit. Yeah, but literally on the day, but I only had to use 2 grand. So it was like, you know, whatever, 57%. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It's like, yes, of course, those trades may not have worked out, but with this, when you time the market and the strategies that I'm using, like, you know, the momentum breakouts, it's highly unlikely you're gonna, even if the market isn't going, you just come out, you scratch the trades. So, you know, for me, it was very low risk, but I didn't need to use a lot of my money. And that's the great thing. That's what I love about the futures account, having that there to then do the 125x. It means I could take a good sized position, still have low risk. Well, my risk was 2 grand on that. And then I basically made 1,500. It was literally in a couple of hours, and then closed them and moved them back over into dollars. So then I've made my 2 into 3.5, and I can now go and invest that somewhere else.
Yeah, but for total newbies, he's not saying risk 2 grand on a trade. That's risk managed as a percentage of his overall account.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Because typically, if you're trading FX, like for example, you've got whatever 10 grand account, we recommend you risk 1%, 2%, or whatever of your account on each trade. So my portfolio is significantly high enough now where, and I'm also looking at it as a total as well of the portfolio. That's a small chunk. It's a very small percentage. But if I was doing that with spot, I would literally have to have 30, 40K instead of 2K to take those trades to make 1.5 grand. That's the point. Yeah. So it just means that I can allow my other portfolio to keep making me money so that I'm not messing with those. And then I could just take whatever dollars I've got and then maximize that as well. So that's why I kind of said active portfolio management, maximizing what you have.
Oops, I just pressed that by accident. So look, guys, hopefully that's answered your questions. It's great to have this community that are interested in cryptos. Maybe some guys are interested just in FX, or maybe you're just interested in trading in general. The point is that there's so many opportunities right now. And I guess, do you want to close with regards to the opportunity? Because someone like yourself who's been successful financially, you've pulled money out and invested it, diversified, put it into property where you're making what, like 5 to 10%?
In effects, you mean?
No. Where you've taken your money out and you've put it into property and you're making 5 to 10% per annum. And the amount of risk and hassle and just the opportunity that's there, it just is crazy how value is moving right now. As a society, we're getting a chance to jump in on that value shift, which is what's creating these opportunities. Normally that's kind of reserved for the 1% and all of that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
But we're able to talk about this now and we're able to do it. So, what I'd say is there's so many opportunities, but if you don't just jump in, don't let greed and FOMO take over. Just take your time, but take action at the same time would be something that I would say, regardless of how you want to do it. We know, everybody wants to think that they can do it themselves, and some people can, and good on you. But just be careful. And, when you're ready to get proper education, we'll be here for you, basically. But I just want you to comment on that kind of the shift that's happening now that you've seen in your 15, 17 years of trading, where you had to diversify into other things like property for that return. Now we've got this opportunity with cryptos. Like, how would you sum up the shift and the change?
Yeah, I mean, you can't compare the two because, this is, we'll call it as it is. Cryptocurrency trading is higher risk than investing in a property, but the returns are very, very different. So for me, it's about taking an amount of money, putting it into cryptocurrencies, trading it the right way, maximizing your return. Like if my friend had been educated, if he'd come to me and asked me how to trade his 6K investment, it wouldn't be 26K. It would be well over 100 grand for sure. Not even for sure. 100%.
Even if he'd just gone, do you know what? I'm not going to do the typical newbie thing and invest it in the big guns. Maybe take a portion of that and put it in one of them, but then go for like a mid coin and a minor cap as well, right?
There was no guarantee. And a lot of the coins, sorry to speak over you, a lot of the coins disappear. So if you don't do the right research, they become zero. So it's not a get rich quick where you just literally go, right, okay, let me just go and find a few small coins and they're all going to work out. Loads of them disappear. Yeah. So, less so now, but then back then, but still there's still that risk that they become obsolete and they don't work out, and then they disappear. So I think here's the thing for me, like if you're going to do it, you do it now, like now. And I know what you said a minute ago, like you can kind of do it when you're ready and try it on your own. You need to be trading and investing in it now, like seriously, right? Like now and even 2-3 months ago, which is why I rushed to get that course done for people, because I think that normally with cryptocurrencies, the summer is a bit of a lull month. So normally you get pullbacks. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to be telling these guys to do in our group. Even during those months, we're going to be getting ready to take the other side. We're going to be getting ready to short some cryptocurrencies and make money when they go down. So it's just about being aware of what phase you're in, because there will be some corrections, and normally you get corrections. So it's about knowing and understanding them. So, and the whole point of this is make a lot of money and then put it into safe assets. That's the plan. For me, that's my plan anyway. So it's like make a lot of money, take it out, or leave some in a ledger wallet. Definitely keep some coins because they'll keep going up, and then invest it in things that you know are always going to be needed. Like housing is always going to be needed. But I will definitely have a portfolio, like for the long term, whatever happens. But I will be looking to take the majority of profits and investing it in safe assets. When I'm going to do that will be revealed when I'm doing it.
I guess, I mean, at the moment, if you don't have the money to invest in property, then this is the sure way to be able to leverage what you've got. and maximize it as much as possible. And you could argue that those quote unquote safe, the amount of hassle it comes with tenants and all of that jazz, and that's almost like a spot version of diversifying your portfolio, right? But like an extreme turtle sloth version of a spot account in cryptos. But still needs to be done when you get to that level, for sure. There's obviously a reason why it's still there, and like you say, there's always going to be a shortage of housing, I think. So just to finish off with this one, Villius is saying, will we be trading short instead, mostly just like we are doing long trades now, once the crypto markets start to go down as it is predicted soon this year? So there generally tends to be like a cycle around the summer that Bitcoin will take a price down again.
That's what we were just talking about, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know if you want to just cover that off and finish that.
Yeah, it's what we just said, Villius. I think maybe I answered it already. But yes, absolutely. And obviously we'll be guiding you in the group as to how we're doing that. But and when we'll see the signals for that change. But yeah, I mean, I plan to be active when we're getting corrections, when we're across the board. So because the short side actually can be even more profitable, believe it or not. So because people panic and they don't want to lose their profits. So what we want to be doing is we want to be planning and getting out before that point, ideally, or starting to liquidate positions as we're really growing. And when we see some of our coins are overvalued, start to liquidate them slowly, and then start to look for the signals to start shorting positions. But at the very minimum, stay neutral. So if you're not confident to short, stay neutral. But you can make a lot of money on the short side. When panic sets in, you've seen how you experienced it yourself, how fast the markets can fall. So you can make a hell of a lot of money. I've got to be honest, even on this bull run, I've caught one or two, but I've been hesitant to short. I've caught some big ones. I caught Cardano a really good short from, I didn't hold it long enough. I've got to be honest. I shorted from 140 all the way. Well, it was the one that actually did drop to whatever, 95 cents, but I didn't hold it for anywhere near that. I may have taken 15 cents or 20 cents out of it, but yeah, I mean, in a bull run, it was scary to short. I've got to say, a cryptocurrency that I'm very bullish on. So I was let's just say I was happy just to take my profit and be out of it. I didn't feel comfortable on a short side in a bull market. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling on now.
It's all right, mate. It's fine. It's the start of my day now. I'm awake. The sun's come up. It's all good. I started and it was dark, and now I'm awake. You're getting ready to go to bed. Hey, I hear you guys had some good sunshine today. Let's celebrate that.
Beautiful.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, it was nice. Really, really nice. Really nice. Really warm as well.
Awesome.
So sat in the garden for a little bit.
Well, that's great to hear. And obviously, look, thank you everybody for joining us on this Tuesday evening. That's been Cryptos Like a Pro. Hopefully you've got some value out of it. And obviously just keep making your comments and putting them into the community. I mean, look, people say, said to me, I've never heard of KDA. Other people mention, I've seen some in here. I think there was one Safe Moon or something. I've never heard of that one. There's so much choice. There's so much abundance. I think just stay centered. Do your own research is a massive one. And just go with what you feel is the right project for you. And obviously, if you want to get some help in how to expedite that journey, then obviously we're here for you. And people are getting great results. It's not an easy process. There's a lot that comes up for the individual, and nothing's guaranteed. But if you're serious about taking advantage of this opportunity, I think everybody can say that they now know how to look for opportunities, how to take advantage of them. And then it's just about refining glitches in our own personality, whether it's greed and reacting to FOMO and things like that, which comes with time. This isn't a sprint, although it feels like a sprint, but there's still going to be enough opportunities in there. So just keep taking action As the phrase I like to say is, how do you eat an elephant? Spoon by spoon is just the classic phrase. It may seem massive at the start, but just keep taking that spoon and enjoying the mouthfuls as you go along. Is there anything you want to add to that, mate?
No. No, I think we've covered everything. I guess, just, if you're going to do this, like I said before, don't gamble. Don't sort of feel like you're missing out and you're just going to throw in your hard-earned money into this and just hope it lands. You do your either. I mean, you've got to learn from somewhere, and before you invest in anything, do your research. Make sure you understand what you don't go onto Twitter and Facebook and start looking for, what people are recommending. They're recommending it because they own it, and they probably own it because they've seen somebody else say it's going to get pumped and it's going.
By the way, I don't own KDA. And you don't.
No,
own
I'm
KDA,
just trying to say, like, people.
We're pretty neutral here.
And like, so it's it's really, really important. This is such a unique. I can't stress it enough. Such a unique opportunity to make a lot of money without having to risk a lot of money. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, I've never done the returns that I'm making right now in FX because with the risk that I'm taking, and I'm a consistent FX trader. So I'm just trying to say the reason why you can get these kind of returns. I'll just say it. I don't know if I've said it tonight, but it's because cryptos are not mainstream right now. This is not something that you can openly go and, you're not going to Waitrose and getting out your Bitcoins and paying at the moment, right? You're still getting out your pounds and paying for your bread and whatever else. You're still, we're still using old technology right now. When this new technology is being used in the world every day, you're not going to see these returns again. You're never going to see these kind of moves again. That I can sort of say with confidence. Yes, there'll be new projects. There'll be new ideas and innovations, like there'll be the new Apple, the new Amazon around. You've got to try and find that. Right now, you can find so many of these, so many. And that's why I'm saying there's opportunities. And just Faisal's on YouTube. I'd advise you to come to the Facebook group. That's why you probably can't see too many of the comments. Most people are here. Crypto and FX Traders Club, the Crypto and FX Traders Club on Facebook, and we'll post the link to the program on there, right, Gavin?
Yeah, we've got one of the guys can reach out as well. One of the team can reach out and give you more information.
He needs to be in the group, right? Because we won't have his details, I would assume.
Very good point.
So Crypto and FX Traders Club is the group, and you should see this when you join. If you just fill in there's 2-3 questions or something, and we'll approve you. And then you can kind of check it out and then speak to one of the guys to see if it's suitable for you, so they can explain. This is not, just to make it clear, guys, it's a trading course. It's not going to talk you through things that you can find on the internet for free or whatever, like how to buy, how to get a wallet and all those kind of things. This is to teach you how to make money with cryptocurrencies, how to short them, how to go long, how to trade the strategies, all those things that you need to know to maximize your return, and how to find undervalued cryptocurrency. So it's not about teaching you the stuff that you can read freely on the internet. We'll give you resources. We'll teach you. There's like masterclass on how to use Binance on the internet that they run themselves. All the things that others provide. We're not going to waste your time and teach you it. We're going to teach you the stuff that you can't get, that you don't know. And so that's kind of all. That's about it really from my end. Anything else, guys, that you want to ask? Or
don't say that. It's coming up to an hour. That was the perfect time for us. We'll be here, Phil. You'll be here till midnight.
No worries. Do you know what, Faisal? Or Faisal, sorry, I'm not sure if it's Faisal or Faisal, but if you put in your
He always does this, and he always does this. He just mine goes off. He reads it, and then no one else has a clue what's going on. This is what he's.
Well, that's your job, mate.
Just so that everybody is watching.
Yeah, there you go. So do something, mate. Don't just sit there with your hat on. Yeah, no. If you want to drop your email in or your number, then they can reach out to you that way. If you don't want to open up, but it is we've actually had people open up Facebook accounts just to be in this group.
Yeah.
So it is. There's a lot of content on here. It's such a great community, mate. Without being prejudiced, but the guys in this group really make it. We haven't. I don't know if people have been. I haven't been seeing any spam. So hopefully we're getting rid of it, or maybe you guys are just completely on top of it, and I'm not even seeing it anymore. I don't know, but we definitely try and keep it like a clean group with positive energy, massive value, videos, and a helpful community. So come join the fun, as Mr. Frosty said.
Where is it? There. Yeah, come join the fun. I think that sums it up perfectly. So look, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We're on the hour mark, so we're going to bounce. Yeah, have an amazing week.
Do you like my t-shirt, by the way?
I can't really see it.
You haven't seen it, right? Hold on.
Oh wait, hang on a minute. Let's end with this.
We'll end this.
Run faster, lift more, work harder, aim higher.
There you go. Positive message for the people.
With all this money you're making, I thought you would have personalized it and got one about trading or something.
No,
there must be a printer. There must be a printer shop open.
I don't have that sort of money, mate, to waste.
There must be a printer shop open. Now the sun's out. Now the sun's come out and everything.
Well, I'm quite happy with my t-shirt as it is.
On this note, so this is my last question for you. Very serious question. So last Thursday on the Pips, oh yeah, Faisal as well, I think it was. We've got a Pips Like a Pro show for FX on Thursday. So anybody that wants to talk FX, that's why we're just biased to cryptos tonight. Thursday nights is the FX show. So little plug for that. We'll be back on Thursday night. Last Thursday, you said you were going to play football, five-a-side. And if you weren't there, he did his cruciate ligament in playing five-a-side. Of course he did. Now, did you end up playing the other night?
It didn't happen, mate. They didn't go.
They didn't need you. They didn't need you. You didn't get picked.
You're
like, I'll play. No one wants me.
No, they were begging for me, mate.
Oh, really?
No, it got cancelled, but they're looking to reorganise it possibly next week. But honestly, I shouldn't really play, but I probably will anyway. And
yeah, so if the show's ever cancelled, it's because Andy's in a hospital bed. He's done the other cruciate knee ligament. So yeah, I was just interested to see whether you'd done that or not. But look, we digress. It's time for some more Bella Ciao.
Adrian, we did it.
Oh wait. Where is it?
Adrian, yes, my friend, thank you.
Oh, what? Come on, you got to have a bit of banter.
No, Adrian is supporting me. I love him. See?
Time for this.
Genti passeranno, oh vela ciao, vela ciao, vela ciao, 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 vela genti.
Your little bobblehead. I was doing the same, mate, to be fair.
Ciao, everybody. Good night.